ministro it is jurisdictional technique election. Coconino County Community College created the basic educated bond election. They got that like in this area, not there people face the for other not we see the ATM Coconino County of law di connect e connect dari ini so dari sini the data earth for the so as you count you don't have to count is so that is so for this don't have to say you're not registered to vote starting once you turn 18 after you you're eligible to go ahead and register for vote for the federal, state, and county election. For the last day to register to vote is on your cost for October 6th is the last day to register for this election. And as is not natural. Although the mission is November 4th, we'll have an early voting that we beginning October the 8th of time the vehicle your car. I would say that this is in about time October the 8th of they are stable they not into those that May October the 31st they are network early voting percentage. For these early voting on the Sunday, one and each chair they were in the office. The county courthouse buildings on in 1800 and they 190 across the street. They cracked in the office 110 each chair and they cracked opportunity this although they like that mall, so stock office a lot other than all that. The stock office there flag that mall. Although to go page city hall this is on the ballot we get that you're missing not mental is showing a page city hall. J Monday to Thursday like 7 a.m. to 5:30 Friday they're closed. Okay, so I do ballot mental is showing. Although tonight this week go in the office is on the top office but tonight this week to be they are not yet about really trading code in non-jobable social public library in the after you have done basement that public library or offer they also have to Monday Friday donation the donation. We try to optimize their laptop and help people able to get out. Public library, for example, other than that, so they've elections how they create to call either say that October the 8th only, October the 31st, in ballot view. Behind updated issue. Or you can have that we updated that in the early voting. It makes it time in that game season. They don't have time to shower. If you have early voting, I just be avoid that and yeah, Friday. Party not updated the I'll be there. Coconino County borders mobile state is many mobile. Taking out not a trader getting these mobile units that we need the better along study voter registration between the also is pattern that happened also how they and how could take of how is only the private law she go on the only of this the town schedule. The voter registration is to be set and the town not only early voting, when it starts for the ballots on a trader county, a non di neanche allora è nato dice che letto qui report Coconino Community College e so nato che e letto strani colante video so vado in nato di Community College representative outreach then questo mi crea questo mi fa the community college ABC the people nel niente gioia di questo che di housing to do here housing in and take the out of this permanent early voting is named that the active early voting. It is so not not many other the active early voting is so they not see this now se people are caught and other dice strane che sta sotto angolo di sto e di vivere da the name that others not so but if it's election small election I think it's already that it's not the return envelope we get water alla accedere di stasera e da quando è fermato so faccio io una cosa di questa io even now sanno che mi manda che la camminata fatto foto ma not in the record will be balanced they're going to come a yellow envelope and the instructions in there how to mark a ballot and the return envelope and get it back to my story. Although it on that question, he's got the next just one radio station, they like the KT and the so being that also Bisante there's two radio station now, cat radio doors, I pay and chicken out of the stop page day, so radio station so I found that we can and the kalau not so now the needed basically on those tradition so if they go on so co-workers election co-workers are giving a so I digital part for a present for 3 or 4 policy elections. So, but then the phenomenal that Joy part of the resource, but the federal county even for the law, they are government agent. Now, part of this user, some appreciation. it always August that and that how they come out there is not issues but very is they are not cases not to they are called but then the TTK yeah actually and although the evening maybe they physical kind of time shines time 6 in the morning in time people and they we could not possibly 7 o'clock sometimes I've been church in the evening of practice because not so finished and that always holding this agreement or labor is usually guys sign it, the copies done that back for you. If you have one day, holding this collection in that and be very button that you use the year as part of all nature, the cost of a piece of and then it's got a lot of churches and then you for they are top up and point in the net and all of this to the case although in our first in our day we your pure posture middle address and each type of figure your middle address changes for it only said that it means to do with just let us know that your mailing address and I don't have that statement out but on phone numbers top there's toll free number and there's number just let us know that your pure posture changes okay so they go that cheaper or it's time though thành ra là asker so it maybe so chúng ta là có từng số chân tiền của anh là là nên ra và hiện tại bên ta là có experience là có experience là cho tiền but then if you recently got married or if you got divorced, so as you start so you need to be registered a hot season shine that commands to so and you can re-register shine your name changes your maiden that's your maiden name because if you need to be registered just talking not if your resident changes you need to re-register so they cut those and that power plant was broken down and closed and you came back to your Christian house. Put how your resident change in around you so you need to let you need to be registered for the registration in although typically I'm in Boston down there in Chicago these sort of safety federal government but it's John. The concept of again, it was meant so I need to so thank you for giving us the floor to do our presentation. But I was in then she thank you.
Okay. All your relatives.
I don't know how many were.
We need
5.
more people here. I think there's only two that on here are voters. So, everybody got the agenda. Did you get your agenda? Oh, so with that being, I'll make the president make an official, see if we're ready to go.
Okay, so good morning, everybody. Thank you guys for joining the meeting. So currently, right now, we have 23 in play right now, 23. So we currently have 1, 2, 3 online. Oh, okay. We have 3 online. Then we have 20 here. So we need 2 more. There's anybody, huh? So, those are counted, they're counted too. So if you guys have anybody that is available online, maybe call in. We can go ahead and start. Today we only have 23. So thank you for that report there, elections. Thank you for that. So again, we're coming up to an election year. Next year is gonna be when we're gonna go ahead and either have a new governor or new. I think we're doing council and president after that next year. So be sure to have your updated voters registration here at the chapter or at Western Agency Election Office, making sure that you guys are all registered, also on the state side. So make sure you guys are all registered there. Your voice matters. So those that are coming out of age to start voting, please put in your voice to vote. So, okay. So I guess you guys want me to go ahead and present you guys my report and then Herman Daniel's report while we wait for quorum?
Yes, yeah.
On the consensus of the chapter members here, we'll go ahead and continue on. Robert, can you go ahead and provide us the council delegate report? If you're talking and you're on mute.
Good morning, staff, Sendai, President, Lord, Council Sendai, Lord, San Francisco, Lord, Bevan Dash, Aloha, in I South County, Mr. Daniels is on his way back from the valley with his spouse. He had to take her into, she had flown out to Banner in Mesa about 3 days ago, and she finally got released. So he's bringing her back today. So even though he's not able to make it, but appreciate all your support and understanding. Based on what I submitted to Ts'ah Bii this morning, we just kind of outline each chapter's area, including Ts'ah Bii. So AOA, first of all, he commends the chapter for doing their ARPA projects with the agreement that was put in place to administrate the project from the chapter level, though. So He knows that there was a shortfall, but I think with the administration and leadership, along with the contractor, they made some adjustments to ensure that the building gets completed. So okay, he commenced the chapter for that. He's aware of the initiatives that the chapter has got in play. Laundry, aka pushing for the NDOT facility to be considered for placement at the Ts'ah Bii region. Also including the public safety building to be considered to be constructed in the Ts'ah Bii region. I think there's some other things that the chapter is pursuing, and he's closely monitoring it on how it comes out. I think there's some legislations that are in place that could be, I guess, considered. So, meaning that the drafting legislation to support these projects, basically, is what I'm saying. So, and I think he knows that Chantal's also looking at the maintenance yard and public safety building, and some other structures for the region. So, but is just watching on how this evolves between the two chapters. I don't know with the 4.1 million senior citizen center, the chapter is positioned to get another sub-recipient agreement going again. He supports that. So hopefully that one starts to evolve so that the chapter can proceed with working on getting the building replaced. Although with Navajo Mountain A, he's having legislation drawn up to complete the expenditure of the 8.8 million that was allocated to the council delegates for the opera funding. So AJ 1.9 million is the legislative council is drafting the resolution or legislation to be considered for approval by the NABI, so that the expenditures can start for expending the remaining amount that was given to the delegates for distribution. So I don't know. He's also looking at focusing on the Paiute Canyon Road instead of the whole road that goes from J2 to Navajo Mountain. And then he wanted to make sure that the Navajo Mountain section, which is that canyon on the TNE, to kind of make sure that we have safe passage between the Paiute Mesa and then also to the Navajo Mountain, where the school and the chapter houses and everything, NHA units are concerned, or so located, so that we can address the concerns about the roads that are pretty bad, so that we can have a little bit better travel for people that live on both sides. I don't know, more importantly, the service providers, so they can go back and forth. So he's concentrating on that. Although at the end of the month, there's going to be some summit meetings with the Utah state government, August 1st, and then also July 31st, and then starting on July 30th to start. So the Utah tribes, they'll be meeting with the state cabinets to follow up on what the progress has been for the state's interaction with the tribes this past year, and then I guess lay out what needs to be worked on for next year's budget season. Though I guess legislation season. So they wanted to he wanted to be in attendance so that we can convey on behalf of the 7 chapters or within the Utah state line. So yes, with Aljeto Ajay, he is keeping close an eye on the Halchita situation, which hopefully is getting to be addressed because of the water that ran out over the 4th of July weekend. Typically, NTUA is hauling water every day for those 2 big water tanks there just on the east side of the little community in Halchita. And it's critical that each day the water is hauled so that they can keep at least a certain level of footage of water in the tanks. And right now, NTA was saying that it needs to be at the 4 feet level so that we don't run out on them. So today, when it ran out and restarted it, a lot of the sediment that settled down at the bottom of the water tanks, they got circulated with the new deliveries, and then it went through the system at the home. So which brought out the a different the water that was kind of reddish brown or kind of looked like sewer water. I know that's that has that, and the people didn't want to drink it or use it. So, but hopefully that gets all flushed out, and then be able to have people be able to trust the water that's being delivered again. So, NTUA they ensure that the water is safe to drink and it's safe to cook with, but it's just that the people's, I guess, subconsciously they're aware of what happened that back with the Gold King wine spill, aided that shut down the water treatment facility right by the river, and then ever since then it hasn't been really put back into play yet. Right now, there were NTA is beginning to find out that a lot of the areas that needs to be repaired or fixed or with equipment that are now obsolete. So with that being also coupled with the no well availability in the area, I think you have to be reliant on NTA hauling water every day to have the people have some water. So long-term plan is hopefully tapping into the water using the water rights settlement agreement, so that they could I guess start pumping water. But then the water treatment facility also needs to be upgraded to have our new one in place. So the number one priority now for the chapter administration to make sure that the people up there are having a supply of fresh water that's available to drink and use for cooking. So, with the senior citizens funding being also submitted, we're waiting on some parts to be ordered so that the senior center can be also having their HVAC system be completed or repaired and restarted, because their clinic is also shut down too. And so right now, to start that place back up is one of the main priorities. But at the same time, they also want a new facility too. So with that, coupled with I guess a lot of other needs in the area, I think it's going to be pretty challenging to find money to get a new building replaced. Aronan with a new chapter house building, they're also trying to sort out the land withdrawal situation so that they can start working on the area that was given to them, which is just to the south side of the Welcome Center, to start withdrawing the land and getting it cleared so that the process for constructing the facility starts again. So, Aronan with Shanto A, the main thing is the business site lease for the hotel, which is still being negotiated and being processed through the Shanto Business Management Commission office. So it's the going slow is going back between the two groups, Shanto governance officials or the Business Management Commission manager, which is also the chapter manager. They're negotiating with Medallion and their lawyer. So it's going back and forth, and then hopefully we come to an agreement pretty soon so that we can open the doors. So, though the nomination standing committees like HES and Law and Order and RDC and BNF are all conducting budget meetings, or meetings that are related to the budget for the 2026 and right now, I think there's meetings going on, and I think it will probably lead up all the way up to this coming summer session with the nomination council. So people are really interested in, I guess, the situation that we're in terms of how much funding is going to be not available throughout I guess the deliberations, the issues that'll be, being settled or, trying to be ironed out so that we have a budget that's gonna be ready for, approval probably by September, so. Been done to, out on the, like I said, the 2025 summer session is going to be starting on Monday. So our leaders to address legislations are now up for approval or not approval. So you guys so. Although, for the most part, he's still also making his round with the Navajo Hopi Land Commission. Just that the closure of O'Neill is being discussed along with other operations that the O'Neill used to have, like Project Mesa Ranch out there by what do you call it, on Sanders, though, on the west side you go. Oh, and then also the nomination of oil and gas. So yeah, he attended a meeting a couple days ago in Albuquerque, so he had to make the trek down there too. So for the most part, that's pretty much what's going on with our delegate speaking or reporting on his behalf. So thanks.
Thank you for that, Robert. Yeah, for the report. So, with that, we'll go ahead and move on to AG. Are you online? Providing report for Cook County?
Good morning, Jiash. Thank you for giving me time. Dole officials that are in attendance, Vice President, Secretary, Treasurer, grazing official. From Coconino County, on the County Board of Supervisors in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. They're attending their annual National NACO conference. So all these county supervisors are part of different subcommittees. They have their national meetings where they meet and pass resolutions and stuff like that. And those go on to senators, House of Representative at the Washington DC level. So that's what's going on with the county supervisors. And that's all week. Although here in Flagstaff, we're dealing with a lot of just health awareness. As you heard, Townsend, Winona area, there's been a lot of plague bonds. There's one person that died, so we're really encouraging the rest of us. I know that just be aware that banda and not. So just don't be shooting out everything and having a big old feast. So that's one message to everybody. Otto, your request for the blading on the bushes, it's in motion now. So they're gonna be blading the shrubs along the road for safety. Although the other thing that we're really dealing with is fire in the Grand Canyon. There was also a little fire that happened here in Flagstaff on Mount Eldon too. They put that one out, and I was just really grateful for that. And it happened, I think, right by the the forest office here in Flagstaff, all in the area. So, just staying hydrated and getting yourself check on your elders and make sure you have enough food, enough gas, and all that stuff. So that will be our message from the county.
Thank you for that report. So again, I want to remind everybody, you Still available for registered voters, these other people, please come on by. Then. Or registered voters. So please come by. Still need 2 more. Or 2 more. More. And you guys have anybody else that can call in? You can come on in. Yes, I'll just go ahead and do my report. So, Chair, I am your chapter president. Yayden Kachin, Snampashin, Sastapanashin, Omanwani, and that's who I am. I'm from here, Pekin. So, see some new faces here, and I just want to go ahead and wanted that introduction. So, right now, the chapter has been working diligently on getting this ARPA project done with the warehouse over here. As you guys can see, the walls are coming up. We also have the insulation we've been put in place, and then hopefully we'll be able to have a nice warehouse by the end of September. We're shooting for the end of September to be the opening of the warehouse, where we're gonna be able to store such like food items, PPE, all the other good stuff for here in our community. So that way we have a good central location to provide some of the much needed resources. And so that'll be done here. We'll also be able to house some of our equipment in there, such as our backhoe that we see out here. It's been in the sun for quite some time, and kind of need a place to put that, so that'll be a good, excellent location. I've been also working on getting the Navajo Route 16 initiative done, as far as getting the process rolling for getting statements, resolutions, letters of support, all the other good stuff to be paved from Navajo Route 16, that crossroads all the way to the tunnel. So we're starting that process, and hopefully we should be able to get that done within the next couple of years. I'm shooting by the end of my term, so hopefully I can get that going by that time. So with that, we are also working. We will be having our strategic session here in the next couple of days, and we do have plans in place of revamping our emergency plan of operations. We want to make sure that we have that up to par. We also are working diligently with the Navajo DPS leadership team, where we're advocating to get a public safety building out here at this location at the crossroads area. We do have that land already allocated for public safety, so we will hopefully get that pretty soon. I've been working very hard to get the new director, hopefully the new director here pretty soon, Mr. Anderson, to help us get that public safety building down here. And then we are also working on getting the senior center project done. Fortunately, sometimes due to the Oak Ridge fire that happened out in St. Michael's, some of that initiatives kind of have stalled because a lot of the executive directors and the department personnel, they're out there addressing the fire. So, but we're still working on trying to get those conversations restarted to get the senior center here built soon. We do have some plans in place and some designs in place already. So hopefully we can get that done, and so we can select the contractor to get those built. We're hopefully shooting for a 9-month turnaround on that. We do have the maintenance yard land allocated already, so we're working on getting with NDOT and ADOT, so that way they have a location for their heavy equipment. So being that winter is coming. And we know how winter gets out here sometimes. This last season was a little dry season, but we know how bad it can get out here, and so we want to make sure we prep for that. So we have the graders down here at our location, so that way they can go up now around 16. Then we are also working on getting a new chapter house. We're aggressively working in a direction to get some buildings built, or at least a conceptual drawing built here pretty soon. And so we're working with a couple other engineers to hopefully help get that going. We're also working on getting the transfer station again. Worked with Now One Nation EPA along with the federal government EPA. Hopefully get a transfer station out here soon. We're also working with our Cook County partners to see if they can help us provide some of that support. But all in all, I think we're working very hard and diligently to try to get things going. As you guys know, there was a recent change in chapter administration, so I do wish that you guys please be patient with them, because we don't have an AA or we just brought on a new office assistant, so again, some of these new learning curves have to be retaught, retrained. And hopefully we'll be able to get everything up to par here pretty soon, like we did before. Other than that, I believe that's all I have for now. See here. The number ending in section 3653, what is your name, so I can put you on the sign-in sheet?
Patty Griffin.
Patty Grisham, thank you very much.
From here.
Okay. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Danielle. Danielle. 24. Okay. Yeah, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 24, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. All right. All right. Hey. Hey. So now it looks like we have 26 in both online and in person. So let's go ahead and get this meeting started. So we do appreciate you guys all for joining and taking some time out of your Monday to join us for this meeting. As you guys can see, we do have a good little schedule here. So we'll go ahead and call this meeting to order at 11:37 a.m. Daylight Savings Time. If I could get Madam Secretary to go ahead and read the resolution, not resolution, but the agenda into correction. We'll do the invocation first, sorry. Do I have any volunteers to do the invocation? At 11:36. Okay, Vice President will call the invocation.
Good morning. Heavenly Father, we thank you today we're gathering to start this meeting. We are grateful for this opportunity to meet and work together. We ask for your guidance and favor upon our efforts. Grant us to listen to and make sound decision for our community and achieve our objective. We pray for your success in your endeavor and for the betterment of our community. And we just thank you for this blessed day. In Jesus' name, we pray. Amen.
Okay, with that, we'll go ahead and move on over to the pledge of allegiance. This, Madam Secretary, you can lead us to that.
I shall not sing, not sing. All right, yeah, så det är väl bara soldi, det är ascensiko, benina, ne hala atropa, to se hasenje hatite, heya asa an asa adane, ye aketa hosen, the nache eto ajoba, bezili, beta ashini tan, ashkehe. But went out.
All right. You got. Test. Okay. All right. With that, we'll go on to the approval of the agenda. Thank you, Madam Secretary, for reading, for doing the pledge of allegiance. Now we'll go ahead and go into the approval of the agenda. So with that, I'll have Madam Secretary read the agenda into the record.
One preliminaries, meeting call to order, invocation, pledge of allegiance, approval of agenda, approval of last meeting minutes. June 9, 2028, reports, chapter and committee reports. President, Miller Hurley, Vice President, Floyd Black, Vice Treasurer, Priscilla Benali, Chapter Manager, Vernon Woolley, Senior Citizen Center, Carol Gay, Head Start, vacant, Community Health Representative, vacant, Veterans Billy Goodman Jr., Foxy, Jamie Novestein, Coconina County Supervisor, Judy Begay, 2025, okay, other designated representative. Presentation, Council Delegate Herman Daniels, Legislative Directive Assistant, Robert Black Jr., Grazing Representative, Jimmy Sorgini, ARPA Project Update, Warehouse and Fort Lake, Electrical Repairs, Renovation for Endurance, and the old business, new business, CPK 2025-195-001, accepting and approving the June 2025 budget report, sponsored by Chapter Administration, CPK 2025-195-001, accepting and approving monthly cash receipt deposit for June 2025 in the amount of $853.26 as budgeted. TBK 2025-195-003, accepting and supporting for students financial assistance to the eligibility applicants and the amount requested. TBK 2025-195-004, accepting and withholding of housing discretionary assistance to the eligibility applicants in the amount of $450 to their selected vendors. 5, TBK 2025-195-005 to be available. 6, TBK 2025-195-006, approving and reaffirming TBK 2022-045-008, supporting for the Ts'ah Bii chapter text ordinance submitted to the Navajo Nation Tax Commission to impose certain local taxes on behalf of TBK chapter, a governancy certified chapter pursuant in the Navajo Tax Code 2024 and sees of section 101. The ETCEQ and the Uniform Local Tax Code and act pursuant to Navajo Nation Council Resolution Number CJA 12-18 and codified at 24 NNC subsection 150 ET CEQ and 26 NNC subsection 103 parentheses 8 E parentheses 8 of the Navajo Nation located governancy act. And two more that is to be available. Announcement. St. Mary Food Distribution on July 28th, 2025. Number two, chapter closed July 22nd to the 25th. Ts'ah Bii strategic session. Upcoming scheduled meeting. Chapter meeting today, Monday, July 4th, 2025 at 10 a.m. Planning meeting. Monday, August 4th, 2025 at 10. Chapter meeting, Monday, August 11th, 2025 at 10 a.m. District grazing meeting, Tuesday, July 8th, 2025 at 10 a.m. TBK. Fermenting meetings, Wednesday, July 9th, 2025 at 10 a.m. TBK. Western Agency grazing meeting, Wednesday, July 16th, 2025 at 9 a.m. Flexing meeting, Friday, July 25th, 25 at 10 a.m. TBK chapter. TBK veteran meeting, Monday, August 4th, 2025 at 1 p.m. N16 meeting, Tuesday, July 15th, 2025 at 10 a.m. Honolulu. N16 Wednesday meeting, August 13th, 2025 at 10 a.m. TBK. Adjournment. Submitted by.
Thank you, Madam Secretary, for reading the agenda into the record. With that, I will go ahead and entertain a motion. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda? Jamie. Do I have a second? Laverne. Okay. With that, we have a motion and we have a second. With that, do we have any comments, questions regarding the agenda that has been presented to you today? Mrs. Mary Alice. Number 7. Okay, so the changes that I have on the agenda is Club C meeting is gonna be Thursday, the 17th. Here at the chapter at 10 a.m. Okay. Okay, so that's the one change that we have. Club C meeting on the 17th, 10 a.m. Any other comments, questions regarding the agenda or corrections that will be done? Okay, with that, no other needed to be on the agenda. We'll go ahead and call for the vote. All those in favor, please raise your hand. Madam Vice President, can you take count?
What's 15?
Which 15?
15.
15, 19, 20. Hey, Linda, you vote yes. Do I have Mr. Adson, Ms. Grisham, how do you guys vote? Mr. Adson votes in favor.
In favor.
Ms. Grisham votes in favor. Thank you. With that, we have a total of 22, you said 23. 23. Okay. Okay, we'll move on. 22 in favor. With that, we have 22 in favor. Opposed, 20 correction, 23 in favor. Opposed. Abstain. 1, 2, 3. Okay. 3. So with that, we have a total of 23 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 abstain. Motion passes. Moving on to the approval of the last meeting minutes. Let me go ahead and pull that up for you guys. Okay. Okay, with that, last meeting minutes, I can go ahead and just do a quick overview, chapter meeting minutes, June 9th, 2025, 10 a.m. Zoom meeting was provided preliminaries. We did call meeting order at 11:58 p.m. Correction, that's to a.m. So I'll change, that needs to be changed to a.m. The invocation was done by Leroy Nez, pledge of allegiance, Priscilla Benali. Approval of the agenda motion by Henderson Engineering, second by Jamie Notestein. Vote is 23 approved, 0 opposed, 4 abstained. Approval of the last meeting minutes from May 5th, 2025 was motion by Ruth Goodman Douglas, second by Priscilla Sosi. Approved 26, 0 opposed, and 2 abstained. Chapter President provided a report, Vice President also provided a report, Secretary Treasurer also provided a report, Chapter Manager no report, Secretary Senior Center no report, Head Start we have vacant, Community Health Representative vacant. Billy Goodman, I provided the report on behalf of the veterans as the Vice Commander. And then Ts'ah Bii, we also provided a report. Community County Representative, no report. Other designated representatives, none. Council Delegate, no report. Legislative LDA, Robert Black, no report. Grazing, provided a report. ARPA, no report, no report, no report. Moving on to new business. Number 1 was a motion read into the record. Motion by Priscilla Sosi, second by Henderson Engineering. Vote is 26 approved, 0 opposed, and 6 abstained. Number 2 was the budget deposits, correction of the cash receipt deposits. Motion by Henderson Engineering, second by Elroy Adson. Vote is approved, approved by 28 approved, 0 opposed, and 4 abstained. Number 3 was the budget transfer. And that was approved by Priscilla Sosi, second by Henry Sinatu. Vote is approved. Vote is 28 approved, 0 opposed, and 4 abstained. Number 4 was the budget transfer of $875. And that one was read into the record. Motion by Mary Alice, second by Priscilla Sosi. Vote is 27 in favor, 0 opposed, and 5 abstained. Approving and supporting the budget transfer of 1512.80, so that's 1,512.80. That was a budget transfer for building materials. That's the ARPA portion. And that one was a motion by Jamie Noson, second by Mary Alice. The vote is 28 in favor, 0 opposed, 4 abstained. Number 6 was the land withdrawal for the community plots for 1 acre. That was motion to combine by Jamie Notestein to have 6 through 11 and 14 to 16 be approved, which was voted, which was seconded by Ruth Goodman Douglas. Vote is approved, 28 in favor, 0 opposed, and 4 abstained. Number 7 was also a land designation withdrawal for the family plots. And that one was also combined, 28 in favor, 0 opposed, and 4 abstained. Number 8 was the land designation withdrawal for the 10 acres for the NDOT maintenance yard. That one was also part of the combined of 8, 20 in favor, 0 opposed, and 4 abstained. Number 9 was also the community land withdrawal for the Ts'ah Bii recreational center of 7 acres. That one was combined of 28 in favor, 0 opposed, and 4 abstained. Number 10, which is also land designation withdrawal for the Ts'ah Bii Head Start and preschool, 5 acres. That was also a combined resolution. For 28 in favor, 0 opposed, and 4 abstained. Number 11 was the Ts'ah Bii business site lease for us to go after the business site lease authority. That one was also a combined resolution of 28 in favor, 0 opposed, and 4 abstained. Number 12 was a budget transfer of $12,970 and 62 cents. That was also part of the ARPA project to cover some of the building materials and salaries. That was motioned by Jamie Noson, seconded by Mary Alice McClure, 27 in favor, 0 opposed, and 5 abstained. Number 13, which is the approval of the budget transfer of $981. This is also part of the ARPA project. Motion by Priscilla, seconded by Jamie Noson, 28 in favor, 0 opposed, and 4 abstained. Number 14 is the approval of the chapter debit and credit card policy to establish internal controls and to limit cardholder limitations, along with the alignment of the nomination fiscal policies. That was the combined resolution with 28 in favor, 0 opposed, 4 abstained. Number 15, which was the Ts'ah Bii Community Plots Cemetery Policy within the Ts'ah Bii chapter. So this one was the policy for all the community's plots. That was also a part of the combined resolutions of 28 in favor, 0 opposed, and 4 abstained. Number 16, which was the urgent request to get a public safety building down there at the crossroads area. That was a combined resolution of 28 in favor, 0 opposed, and 4 abstained. Number 17, which is the approval of the FY 2025 sales tax allocation of $1,342.82. Motion was by Geraldine Chi, second by Gina Blake, 28 in favor, 0 opposed, and 4 abstained. Number 18 was none. 19, correction, number 5 is announcements. And those are we had St. Mary's, and then now we're on 16, along with the nappy food distribution. And then we had the upcoming meetings, and then we had adjournment at 2:24 p.m. Motion by Jamie, second by Gina Blake. Approved is 25, 0 opposed, and 8 abstained. With that, that was signed by myself at 6:09:25. And it's the overview of the meeting minutes for last meeting. With that, the only correction they have is the meeting started at 11:58 p.m. Correction on that. So with that, the meeting minutes have been read into the record. Do I have a motion? Jamie motions. Do I have a second? Henry. Okay. Okay, we have a motion, we have a second. Those corrections are added. Comments, questions regarding the meeting minutes? Okay, with none, we'll go ahead and call for the vote. All those in favor of the meeting minutes, please raise your hand. Vice President, please take a vote. Okay, 19, 21, 22. Linda, how do you vote? Oh, never mind, got you. And Patty, how do you vote?
favor.
24. Okay, that 24 in favor, opposed. None and abstain. Two. Okay, that we have a motion, we have a second, and have a vote of 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 2 abstain. Motion passes. We'll move on to the next item on the agenda, which is going to be. Come on. The reports. So I provided you guys my report by Vice President. Move on to.
That's it. Auto trade, first of all, auto, som man ska bedriva sitt gäng. Det tider sitt tjej, det tjej, synen. Auto, what I think, is the grades off for coming and giving them the list. I don't know, after late, he's there for the warehouse. I don't think Robert Black is online too. We can't have, I don't know, one that called in, we don't have. Who's just report a Mr. Very young, that's something, the president. They also the state bill, transfer station bill, Chapel House. Recreation center bill, or at least can they call on date? I don't senior citizen. Bluefield, they don't go along. Events of I went to the teacher, but there's senior citizens, just senior citizens, one of other, I get I don't know, the warehouse, then, have warehouse, but they, Rick, Rich. Should report a, June 19th, NFP, they brought their meetings and, those, blue one and yellow one, should go, you said, early president, we stayed, and we have the, student workers. We had to bring them in. And, then the season, 25th and I took a leave personally to attend the May Welcome Center, they do leave it. That each year, Montreal leave it. Or tourists. And local, economic. Present, economic growth, for tourists, creating jobs, or supporting local business and individual business. To focus on providing enrichment and opportunity to learn about Navajo history, culture, and the way of life on Navajo land. To upgrade, forest, facility, the transportation and accommodation. And, I only attended, half of it because I had to, return back to work. Additional research project. Shut it down. I attend this, economic growth. July 5th, and I don't do that, last meeting again. Anything or Jason or Chantal, so I'm quite building on this on the official credit, legislative liceo, chiamato Amico, e la in famiglia, in chiamazione, on fiscale. E yeah, you know, and so that's important.
Thank you for that. Moving on over to Secretary Treasurer.
By the time I get it, it's forgotten. Oh my gosh. I'm so bad. Oh, it's 10 that we now finally paid now, so. But anyway, I can thank, each one of you to make this meeting possible. At the beginning of the week, Mondays are hard to barely get yourself out of bed. Yeah, I can't, there's other people that are here. The guest reporters and they, myself, I think that, my thing is, I'm gonna keep pushing this. Resolution that, please stick with it. Stick with it. Don't throw your ball out of the ball cart. Stick quietly because Ashiniki stick with it. So the meeting will go smoothly. Sometimes a so if with this, for no night, because the vote on the questions and the the resolution, but high keep it there, egg banana, I don't skip it. Lay quick to go back to go, no, egg on the hash for that. So we'll get the meeting going and some of the officials here, like lay at the end of Spanish open on the shoulder. He livestock. He has to be there at a certain time and appointment with people. So we need to get with a meeting and, ele é bem não pode cantar dez a jogo, na ikiki, and I don't keep all day. So we get this going on the road and again, I can't do the shingle day.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Madam Secretary, moving on.
Sienna is Congo, lay, crossroad, Hilaniki, please go to the meeting tomorrow, Tonalia, the, Asana, the conduct, they don't come to our meeting, but yet we're fighting, the club C members, we're fighting or trying to keep things going, we're rolling the ball for them. They are the whole Aniki chapter, the members are letting on that. They is about Singajoto or this empathy, so, we got to be like, totally at the night, don't come to our meeting, again.
Okay, thank you for that, Madam Secretary. We'll move on to the chapter manager. I have the chapter manager online. Okay. Move on down to senior citizen, Carol Begay, you online? Okay, Head Start, we have nobody, seeing Shaw, we have nobody. And then we have the veterans, so I'll go ahead and report on behalf of the veterans and the vice commanders, so we did put in a resolution to increase the veteran trust funds to be added. I believe it was up to 8% now to allocate for the veteran organization. There's also another legislation that was dropped by Andy Nance, Dr. Andy Nance, the council delegate, who is gonna go ahead and have the agencies, veteran organizations, along with the chapter veteran organizations to be, I guess, recognized, so that way we can go ahead and go out and advocate for our own funding on behalf of the veteran organizations. We do have some food boxes still available, so if you guys haven't had a food box for the veterans, please go over to the store and speak with Mr. Billy Goodman, who is the commander, to provide you those food boxes. He also has some apparel that has the hoodies, the shirts and hats. So if you guys need those, please have your veterans go over there. And then the last meeting that we had, we did discuss that we had an additional $5,000 from the second half of the Navajo. The continuing resolution that Chuck, I was telling you guys at the beginning was that half is allocated in the beginning when they did the continuing resolution. And then now they just finally issued us the second half, and so with that, they gave us an additional $5,000. So with that, the veterans are gonna go ahead, we're working on getting the veterans a coupon to go ahead and be used at the Mashes or Walmart or Safeway, so that it can help out with the groceries. We're working on getting that point, and then we're also getting some more jackets, no, not jackets, shirts for some of the veterans. Other than that, that's the only thing I have. Our next veteran meeting again is next signing meeting, so hopefully you guys will be there. We do have it call in, so you guys do come me to attend virtually, by all means, attend virtually. Other than that, we will go ahead and move on down to Ts'ah Bii. Jamie Novosky, you have a report?
We found out, remember how the grave site, they were saying it's until next year. We found out that, they're doing it now. The Navajo Nation is requesting all family members to do a lease on their grave sites. It's $500 to do a plot on your grave site. And I went to a funeral recently, and one of the family members said that, how come you didn't bury our family at our family plot? And the individual said that, because Navajo Nation, the mortuary said that we're not registered at the mortuary. And they have to bury them over there at the community plot. So we need to let our community members know they need to start working on doing their family plot to register them at the mortuary and through the Navajo Nation. So I believe you can get the application at the homestead lease office if you want to register your family plot. But if not, then if something should happen, then the family will be buried at the community plot. So it is $500. And what the individual has to, that whoever's gonna be the representative has to pay the $500. Or as a family, you can. Do 500. I found that out. Basically. That's my report. They starting their process.
I have a question. That's not my thing. Once you guys very far enough, or we have one for the.
It's wherever your home, the area plot is at. So it doesn't matter.
So from my understanding right now is that those are all one-time fees for starting out the burial plots. So like we have been stating is that from the last person who we talked with over there at the land office is that they were gonna enforce the policy by next year. But now I guess it's now. And so that's something we'll go ahead and talk with them on, but. For all the people who have family plots or who wish to designate their areas where they have their families. They need to go ahead and start the process to get a land withdrawal for the family plot. And that's why from the last meeting, we had passed a resolution for you guys who are wanting to get a family plot, so we don't have to do every family's resolution every meeting. So that there could be turned in with your application to do the family plot. But it has to be up to the family to set up your own committee within the family. And you designate a person who is gonna be in charge of that family plot by meaning maintaining the records, maintaining the plot, making sure that there's your own policy. And so the last two chapter meetings ago, we provided a family plot policy. It's a template that you guys can use and you guys can amend it on your own. Once you guys get that done, that all goes in with your packet, the home site, not home site, the land withdrawal, your policy, the resolution, and the plots. So wherever those plots are at, and then the grazing consent form, if there's any, goes into the application, and then that's where the $500 gets introduced to start that process. So now when that's done, then that is your family's responsibility to make sure that those plots are taken care of and maintained and have digital records, or at least records for them. So that's what it is. That's what I understand it.
Okay. So. So maybe that's a process. My grandma has been very, it really sound like that's nothing I'm very anywhere. So.
So this one here is again for the existing plots that you guys have right now, that you guys are calling, that we're calling in a family plot right now. If those don't have the documentation to be fully withdrawn, this is the process that I was telling you, is to go get the land site lease withdrawal, resolution, just so you can start that process. So, questions?
How do we go about, the land withdrawal?
So with the land withdrawal process, you'll have to go to the land office, either in Tennessee or in central Winter Rock area. They do have the application there, or you can go online and you can print it off of there. I believe they have it under the land department's website. So from that process, then you'll pick up that packet, you'll fill it out, you'll do all you need to do, you'll have a family meeting. And then you'll provide that, you guys will develop your policy. You can either create your own, or you can use the template that we devised. And then take the resolution, and then you take the grazing consent form if there's any, and then the plot, you want to make sure those areas are kind of plotted. So the best thing to do is to go on Google Maps. And then find those plots, those fence posts, we have those fence posts. Put in those plots in there and then have the GPS coordinates for those. Or if you want, you guys can ask our wonderful grazing representative here to assist you with that, but again, he's also busy with stuff, so some of these things have to be done on on yourself as an individual and as a family to get these things in place. If they are not done and are not designated as a family plot, they will be converted into a community plot. And then that's where the chapter will take on the responsibility to maintain those plots. The last chapter meeting, we passed a policy specifying the fees, so, and then the process to making sure that we maintain those areas. So. Questions?
Issue that. Those family plots, as grading official, we don't. Are going to do because I'm easy. Right, application that. Right, and make us know that each, people called out need or this. Either, this is how they gonna do it with the snow. Got each other, but I don't know if they're passing them out or. One of the trash and things that I'll do that. I have I don't think there's a language or there's already disturbed. Right down in the, it says, you just need GPS, you got there. So. Just only say it just need a form and you need to run your own family top, send it all. I know the application that we, it's not under, this thing is not under, the land department. If you go to Tuba City for this, that lady's gonna tell you, to go and shit that, go to general, go to the general land department, general land, which is in Wonderlaw. The website, I don't know, the application is on the website too. Just download it and fill it out and you can email it or whether it's, she's a doctor or something. How about that?
Just a second. Okay. Jamie?
For
Angie, the EDA, she told us and said that that's great, the mowing service, they're underway, they're in the process of getting that going. So,
and another one is, we wanted to change our meetings at Thursday, last night, Thursday. As Friday is always, nobody's here. And you. Thursday, right? Every time,
okay. The Cub City Beach on Thursday. So I thought we already put that in there, but that resolution again, you guys have a resolution, I think. We'll just need to get you guys to amend that resolution to change from Friday to Thursday. And the chapter should have that copy of that resolution. So you guys should just be able to say, well, amend the resolution. I don't think we'll go ahead and come back here and then the meeting can vote on it. Okay. Hey. Thank you for that. We already had Coconino County Supervisor, he gave his representative, provide her report early in the meeting. Then we had the Coconino County elections portion, they provided their presentation. Then other designated representatives, am I missing anybody? If none, we'll move on to the council delegate, which was already provided, LDA provided their report. We'll move on to the ladies and representative, Jim.
有刚刚在市面上。The Ocean report was on I'm doing tally counts yet. And like I said, I didn't come out with the schedule. Schedule is shy, yeah. Although it is for the, I did like a minute of this, no, so. I'm about, close to about halfway through that. I they with that, or contact, that should have the sound over that, you know. I go last Tuesday, yeah, we had our district meeting, but. Check the house at the area, this was a maxed out. That wasn't it, then that's kind of. Like 6 feet of high, yeah, we were way over. Wednesday, or we had our committee's meeting. The cushion and the cut. Mostly the people that are clear out, any coil, they were here. A report that he means that I'm not actually on that meeting. Children stuff, you guys are larger than the customary use area. And you know, talking to straight out, if you wild cow go 80 feet, where you got to kill that. What are you, years, I'm sure you have livestock and you can have water. Or some this too. Then after the other should report. Thank you.
Okay. All righty. Great, provide the report, thank you for that. Moving on to the warehouse, separately. Up in the center. Front and center.
Oriented, please stand for recognition. I'm the project manager, business traditional law for people for my meetings, and all this is these here just veterans all for the shit. So I'm the project manager for the project for the warehouse, and I also help Rick on updating the schedule for that project and the ET renovation, not renovation, but the rewiring of all electrification to through the hardware project. Burdens, here's the other one, the renovation. So update, first of all, I wanted to give you an update on the warehouse. Last month, I wasn't here available, and I know Rick was out in the field. So just give you a quick update on last month before I jump to this month, this past month in July. June, for the month of June. For the month of May, May is 34% completed, plus 50% completed on design and both for design and construction, so 84% completion on the one. Total construction and design of the warehouse goes underneath. So what happened there is a lot of the material we constructed out there, Rick Pierce has to do that over on the site to fill up and use that, utilize the rest of the crushed materials to make sure the area is probably drained and making sure everything's probably done. So although metal building, we started erection on metal building main all clean lateral ties. So that was for June for last month, but for this month, currently right now, it's the beginning of June, and currently he's at 88% completed on the warehouse. He built out the main frame, like I said, the steel frame, and he installed the lateral brace. So what he needs, he's about 50% completed on the roof wall panels, so he's solid that. Insulation in has been delivered from metal building, but one thing, we had an adjustment on that one because they actually supposed to store their material on their site and deliver here a month and a half ago, but it's sort of displaced or sold that material, so we have to have them order that material and finally got them in the 2 weeks or so. Rick has them on site, but he still needs to install some things on the site, so he's hoping to complete that. Here real soon, I'm closing up the building and he's starting to order like the doors and the roll doors and things like that, so and then also the interior gets to order like living materials, to install the office in the stairs and stuff like that. And then we did have a discussion with the chapter, probably a month ago, because of the rise in construction costs. You all know about the tear-off that happened, truck administration. So there is adjustment on some of the material, like wood material comes from Canada, a lot of it, so there is a anywhere from 10 to 20% increase on isolating. We talked to the chapter about that and made adjustment on eliminating one of the roll-up doors and infill that, so that helps mitigate. And the other one is just making that storage on the top level, that's just a storage, it's not the eliminating by certain things. So we made some adjustments to meet that budget and that. So the event then finishing off here in the next probably month and a half to 2 months, the contract ends for this project. I wrote down it's going to be September 1st, 2025. So some of the things that Mr. Rick Pierce will have to do once he installs like electrical plumbing in the HVAC, the area plus things like that. He has to install that, and then also the interior finishes, and then I'm also working with NQA on the hookup, the electrical water. So we're working closely with them to make sure that when the closeout happens, that those are all connected and stuff like that. So maybe the month that'll be for this coming month of August and part of this in September. Making sure it's well, I mean August, once we're in August, there will probably be a final inspection, final cleaning and punch listing that the chapter official Vernon will go to the warehouse and look at it and say, review it with planners, make sure if it needs was designed and make sure that it's compliant with what they want, what the community needs. So those are punch listing. So then the general contractor will come back and make those corrections or make those adjustments in the building. And then finally, the last item would be the closeout sign off, where the projects will be delivered and call it delivery, where we hand the keys to the chapter officials, and then the project manager, Vernon, he signs off. Then the project owner, which is basically the chapter officials, will sign off for that, and that will close out and the contract needs for that September 1st, 2025. And then I think and probably something with the review, most likely written notice, and there's probably a sort of warranty on that. So maybe it might be a 2-year warranty or whatever the warranty is that we signed with the former president Geraldine that's here, former chapter officials. Is a warranty that makes sure that if there's something that maybe the HVAC goes out, Rick Pierce has come back and make those adjustments to show that the building is safe and the building has been involved for the chapter building the community. So I'm gonna for the warehouse. So we're there at, let's say, probably about 80% completed, stuff like that. Next one, here, Boston, NBA 22 homes, electrification door rewire. Again, I wasn't here for last month's report, but I did provide a monthly report to Vernon on that in documentation, so they would provide that to the Harper office. That time, the status was that, there really wasn't any activity, because a lot of the work was being done on the warehouse building. But in that time, I did get an update from Vernon at the time that the staff took in, and they were working on. One of the things that the HUA requires is that we have to have home segments, in the name of, people that have been occupied by homes. So that they have that permanent and they can make that, so there has to be some kind of a, liability. And it's, Bill Ogon, I mean, the main owner, but owner of the Ogon, whoever lives there, needs to be the person that's permitted to occupy that. So something that those are examples. So going into June 1st, I did talk to, these are all verbals right now, talking to Rick Pierce. And he said that it's up to 10 rewires, so in the month of June, he did go out, do more work on the house and, do rewire. And we're still waiting on status with each waiting the like on the home site, and we'll also make sure that they start to put those permitting orders in there. So the contract closing on that one that we signed again with the last chapter officials and Geraldine's here, that's the chapter president. It ends on October 30th, 2025. So we still have time. Working with HUA especially to close that. On that project, I did do an update for Vernon the end of February. I did visit all 22 homes in, and that's where I came up with the sort of the matrix. We got electric rewired by Rick Pierce, and also there's probably 3 of them are under the light up for the HUA. So then, this coming month, mid-August, I'll do another site visit to 22 homes, get an update, sort of matrix, and get that to Vernon and probably the chapter officials. And by that time, we still have 2 months to go to, so I can let, both the chapter official, Vernon and Rick Pierce, know we have 2 months to go to get them all permitted, not permitted, but to electrification and rewiring done by then. So we're almost there on the warehouse. And we're working as best we can with the rewiring. So, ADF, so if you have questions, you can ask me now or any questions? All right, I'll give it back to you, Gilbert. Question?
I guess I do.
Oh, all right, go ahead.
It's good to see you. You mentioned that there were 3 of the 22 that were with the water program, so are they off of this list?
As of right now, when I did the site visit back in February, one of them was actually, part of that program, and 2 was initially being have a contract, but at that time I didn't see it. The electric, I really in the process of like one of the, I can't remember the 2-story leader. That was one of them said. This was, issue.
Okay.
So that's where I said, next month, in the middle of next, August, I'll do the visit on the all 22 again to get an update. So a lot of this, like last month, is more of a verbal of what Rick told me.
So if they are under the LIDA program, they're not gonna be part of this project. Cause it's almost a little.
Yeah. So that's part of the discussion I had with Bernie was, is working with the contractor to let them know if we think that rewire for some of these homes, maybe they'll qualify for the LIDA. So, when I talked to the HUA, I'll say that these are as the rewire and they're going to be connected to the electrical line. So that we, maybe that would fall apart, really, like, it's, some of these, power lines are, like, there's two of them I know they're a mile away from power source. So you don't know if each way you say, oh, this is responsible for paying for this, connection.
Yeah.
So, and I know the budget that Rick has is only meant to be for the supplies of the rewiring and the electrical, outlet box and outside.
Okay.
Any more? Okay, we'll go back to it. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for that there, Stafford. I am anxiously waiting on the opening on September 1st. Okay. Okay, move on down to new business. Madam Secretary, would you read the new business resolution and heading into the record?
CBK 2025-195-001, accepting and approving the June 2025 budget is reported.
Grab that girl. Sorry, having some technical difficulties in moving, getting in the budget report. Okay, fair. This fire. Oh, there is a. One down. I couldn't see it.
General funding, general activity fund, June, 5,577.1 cents. Personnel travel, I cannot see it on.
All right, I'll go ahead and read it for you guys for the record.
I need to lift like my phone.
General fund, activity fund, we have $5,577.01. Personnel and travel, we have $44,814.33. Trust fund and land claims, we have $7,353.34. The summer youth employment with $21,340.65. Housing discretionary is $14,755.05. The local government's LTA, which is $33,043.80. The chapter official stipend, we have $13,663.23. The scholarship general fund, we have $18,391. Scholarship claim fund, we have $27.50. The PEP, we have $10,295.13. Veterans, we have $4,117. Emergency, we have $13,695.07. The veteran correction, the chapter maintenance operation, we have $3,561.13, and then the sales tax, we have $9,567.92. Now, agricultural fund, we have $0. Unhealthy food tax, we have $48,330. Correction, $48,033.07. The ARPA funds, we have remaining of $30,290.16, bringing a total of $248,509.17. That is the budget currently. For the reconciled budget from June. Moving on. With that, go ahead, have a motion entertain a motion, Henry, and second Geraldine. Comments, questions regarding the budget report? Geraldine,
In the budget, I guess more like a recommendation. I would recommend that you make this budget, within the budget you have, to make a budget for this, the secretary, madam secretary treasurer, a laptop so that they'll be able to do the job as part of the duty, part of the duties. So the chapter has always provided the laptop. I think that we need to do that to help the officials be responsible and accountable.
no, thank you for that recommendation, and that conversation has already been done with, chapter. Since we got the sales tax. So, okay. Any other comments, questions? Call for the vote. Oh, Priscilla.
What is that?
The land trust fund. Hold on. Hold on, real quick.
Number 3.
So the land trust fund, that one currently we have allocated for the, I guess it's the administrative costs, so like office supplies, postage, stamps, operating supplies, gasoline for the vehicle, diesel, food for the chapters. So like when you want to do the chapter dinner for the Thanksgiving and also Christmas, we have that allocated in there, telephone expenses, the repair and maintenance of the vehicles, we have consulting expenses, catering. Again, that's also part of that. Then we also have the insurance property, paying for the insurance of the property for all the properties. And then the gifts and awards. And then we have the chapter renovation in there. So those are all part of the land trust fund. Okay. All right. Call for vote. All those in favor, raise your hand. Madam Secretary, Madam Vice President, can you take a vote, please? That's fine.
18. Me too.
It's May 24th.
Now he raised his hand.
Okay, that total of 25 in favor. Opposed. And abstain. Four. Three. There's 3 abstain. Okay. With that, we have a motion and they have a second, bringing a total of 25 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 abstain. TVK 2025-195. 001 passes. Moving on to item number 2. Madam Secretary, read the resolution heading into the record.
TBK 2025-195-002, accepting and approving monthly tax receipt deposit for June 2025 in the amount of $853.26 as budgeted.
Okay. With that, call for motion, Geraldine, second. Mary Alice. Okay. Comments, questions? None, call for the vote. All those in favor, raise your hand. Madam Secretary, take the roll. That'd be Peter. 24, 25. 26. 26. Opposed. Abstain. 2. With that, TBK 2025-195-002 passes with 26 in favor, 0 opposed, and 2 abstained. Moving on to number 3, Madam Secretary, read the heading into the record.
TBK 2025-195-003, accepting and supporting of civil financial assistance in eligibility applicants and the amount required.
Okay. So we have the motion. Geraldine, second. Laverne. Comments, questions regarding the resolution? With that, we have 2, 4, 5 applicants who are gonna pursue in their education. Do we have any of those applicants here today? Stand up so we can see you guys. Introduce yourself, Ashwani, hey. So we know what your goals, so if you guys can, just go ahead and briefly introduce yourself, name, plans if you want, and then also maybe the degree that you guys have also been pursuing. Ashwani.
Ja, dzisiaj dostępne się czyli today nasza I go to ASU. It's my 4th year. I major in speaking and science. Yeah.
Thank you. Next person.
Pasta that near you, right here to that.
Thank you. Next one.
I think I will tell about the end of now, and I'm going to school and job future in Washington to Colorado and so the writing.
Awesome. Last but not least.
I will be attending the university to do my major in film science. Will be according to class 6 months.
Awesome. So if I can get a round of applause for all our college graduates here pretty soon. So I thank you guys for coming.
Let me speak for my grandbaby.
Oh,
Shania, I'm gonna speak for my grandbaby, Tiara Mikishi. At this moment, she's in full summer school. She's in summer school at Southern Maine. She's in summer school right now. And I tried to call her on behalf of, I'll say, yeah, thank you. And she's going into education. So she's about a year, you have to see, then she'll be a teacher. Hope she comes back to the Rays and teach over here. But she fell in love with Maine. Maine is a beautiful country out there. But anyway, that's my grandbaby, Tiara Rikishi.
Hey, thank you very much for that, Madam Secretary. So thank you guys all for applying. We most definitely need you all to expend the funds. But we have funding here for you guys, so we do greatly appreciate you guys for utilizing that. So, with that, any other comments or questions regarding number 3? Okay, call for the vote. All those in favor, raise your hand up high, please. Madam Secretary, could you repeat the vote? Four. 24. Okay, 5. Okay. 25 in favor. Opposed. Abstain. 3. Motion TBK 2025-195-003 passes with 25 in favor, 0 opposed, and 3 abstain. Okay, moving on now to number 4. Madam Secretary, did you read that into the record?
TVK 2025-195-004, supplement supporting of housing discretionary assistance to the eligible applicants in the amount of $450 to their selected vendors.
Okay. With that, we have, did I get a motion? For, okay, yes. Geraldine, second by. Name? Ellis Thompson? Ellis Thompson? Elizabeth Thompson. Okay. Elizabeth Thompson. Seconds. Okay. We have 3 applicants here who is applying for that. So we do appreciate you guys for coming on by and filling that out. Comments, questions for that? None? Call for the vote. All those in favor, raise your hand. Madam Secretary, can you take the roll? Okay. 25 in favor. Opposed. Abstain, 3. PK 2025-195-004, this is 25 in favor, 0 opposed, or abstain. Motion by 3 abstain. Number 5 is to be determined, so we'll go ahead and strike that out. We're moving on to number 6. Number 6 is a.
TVK 2025-195-0, the space improvement and real value. TVK 2022-045-008, supporting for the applicant temporary tax ordinance submitted to the nomination tax commission to control certain local taxes on behalf of the Affiliation Chapter, a governance certified chapter pursuant to the Navajo Tax Code 24 NC subsection 101, UTSD, and Uniform Local Tax Code. Amalgamation Council Resolution Number CJA-12-18 and codified at 28 NC section 150 ET and 26 NNC subsection 103 parentheses 8 B8 parentheses of the Navajo Nation Local Governance Act.
Okay, thank you very much for that, Madam Secretary. Do I have a motion? Geraldine, second. Danielle, thank you. We have a motion, we have a second. Comments, questions regarding this resolution? Okay. So the question, the resolution that we are, so back in 2022, it's the TBK 2022-045-008. We passed the resolution to go ahead and start the process. So we have been advocating to get Ts'ah Bii kin to have our own chapter of tax ordinance. Being that we're a certified chapter auditor, we have the ability to impose taxes on other businesses, whatnot, don't hear. So what we did during that time was we allocated. This is the current breakdown. So we are requesting 4%. And that's the max that we could get. So we're getting 4%. Out of that 4% of the funds that are generated, we have stated that we want to go ahead and allocate 10% to administrative costs for the chapter, 20% to the public safety costs, 15% to economic development projects, 20% to the chapter facilities improvement projects, and then 20% to the chapter education scholarship programs, and 15 of that should go to the youth and elderly programs. So that's currently how we have allocated out of the 4% of any of the funding revenue that comes to the chapter within the boundaries of the chapter. We are wanting to get the 4% tax, and that's how it's going to be broken up. So when you look at it now and hear it this way, we have the ability, because what we're talking about earlier was when we were saying that we want to have our own public safety building. We also want to do our own our own fire department to be a volunteer fire department. And with that, we want to be able to include the public safety costs for equipment, stuff like that, their training, so we can get those in place. The economic development projects is to help with boost some of the economic portions throughout the chapter. Our chapter facility improvement projects, again, that will assist us with cleaning up the areas, maybe putting in some maybe sidewalks, all that for the community. And then the education project, maybe hopefully getting some more funding dollars for student applicants who want to have some more funding instead of getting the what we have currently right now. And then we have 15% for the programs and youth. So being that we do the IGC, the Intergenerational Conference, which hopefully will start up next year. We want to be able to pay for some of that, those type of projects. So this is just basically what we've turned in. And the only reason why we were wanting to do a reaffirming resolution is because being that the chapter leadership has changed, we want to be able just to reaffirm this portion on there and then hopefully progress this along, because like anything else, Navajo Nation takes their time and they lose documents. So this is the whole reason why we entertained this resolution. Okay. Comments, questions? None? Okay, go ahead, call for the vote. All those in favor, raise your hand up high. Madam Secretary, can you take code? Roll call. 41. 41. Nope,
I didn't count all this.
no,
Yeah.
25 or 20,
Five, all right.
25. Okay. 25 approve. Oppose. Abstain. 3. Okay. 4, correction, 4. Okay, with that. TBK 2025-195-006 passes 25 in favor, 0 opposed, 4 abstaining. With that, we have completed our action items today. Number 7 and number 8 will be scratched off since we do not have any other resolutions to pass. We'll go ahead and move on to the announcements. Again, St. Mary food distribution is coming up on the 28th. So please keep in mind to come on out. The chapter will be closed on the 22nd to the 25th due to our strategic session that we're gonna be doing. This is where all the officials, the club scene, everybody will come together to really strategize on how we're gonna get these things going. And a couple of those things we talked about in there is the cemeteries and just the vision of how we're gonna get Tuckerton to be self-sustaining. And we'll move on to number of upcoming scheduled meetings. You have our chapter meeting on July 14th. Our planning meetings on August 4th. Our next chapter meetings on August 11th. Grazing district is July 8th, which passed. And then Permitting's meeting was July 9th. Western Agency grazing was Wednesday, July 16th, so that's in 2 days. We have our club C meeting on July 17th at 10 a.m. That's a reminder. So please come on out to that meeting. We have our TBK Veterans meeting August 4th at 1 p.m. We have our N16 meeting with Tunalia. That's tomorrow, July 15th at 10 a.m. Then we have our Route 16 meeting in August on the 13th here at TBK. Other than that, do I have any other comments or questions regarding that? If none, we'll go ahead and motion for an adjournment. We have motions. Geraldine, Brendana, seconds. Okay, that, all those in favor, raise your hand up high. Madam Secretary, you take the roll. 6.
I think 6.
So. Okay, that 1:06 p.m. we officially adjourn. I do greatly appreciate you guys all for coming on out, and I will go ahead and turn the floor over here. This is me unofficial, because we kind of did all that done. But we do have Western Agency OPVP representative here today, so I'll have her do a quick update for us while we're eating. Ms. Joan, would you be able to come on up here and provide a presentation?
Yeah, Benito and then so that and the put it in the font for and a bunch of steam for somebody that could stay those and kind of puts out the next explanation. Lay office of the president, Western Agency representative as one of his executive staff assistants, Sean Ayos Albanashmisha. Paella Benamnishla, of course, Shifty, or Northern Western Agency. Given that Western Agency is a large agency, we have 18 or 19 factors within the Western Agency, so the agency is divided in half So I take care of the, agency from the chi, or more so, kaito, don't lay, how cheater, working with constituents on either one-on-one, as well as working with the chapters and more so the constituents. Get the net, how to about things in the GA, to look at national law, homicide research, and look at, you know, checking that not that I think it down later, don't level one, instead of the that under the CHIP program, or the HIP program, long-term non-emergency, I don't lay block program that they make, and then all the way down to burial assistance. A was on to the net, but now shut in the 9 chapters. The Kulikoshing, homicide leases, non-footage, ugly, with the nest, which is on the house pay. Based on all you have that vocal, and then you do social services program, they are just knowledge. Instant auto decon, and we get the end of the in there, what that only, so I'm gonna point out, project, Navajo Mountain, the auto, project, other town, without emergency assistance, they make it, a whole partner for, they wanted to the Navajo Mountain down, I did it, no, it was out, wanted financial, I don't think. After the contact, the financial shape and then they're all on the, so I was really on the. Yeah, and I do apologize for that, for my lateness, I had to run some errands right in between for other constituents as well, so I didn't have a chance home. On kid lahat the thing, you know, at all staro, and then was she, kind of kid she had job at no sinigi, she, you know, covered at the whole, say, I only have this city cat.
Oh, thank you very much for that there. It's great for the, update. Other than that, you guys are officially adjourned and you guys all have a wonderful day. Thank you guys all for coming here. For those that have, gotten your, hopefully we'll have that, your checks ready by the end of today. I guess stick around if you guys can. Other than that, you guys all have a wonderful day and we'll see you guys next month.